Turn on, turn on the torch, light up the flame. Time to melt some glass, my friends. There you are. Here I am to explain, to teach, and create again. Yeah, I used to sing that song many, many, many years ago. Yeah. Well, today I'm going to answer a few newbie questions. And if you have a newbie question and you want to ask, we'll see what we can do about answering them for you. I am not saying that I will know the answer, but I am going to give it my best try. A couple of questions that somebody has asked recently to me is, I'm using vermiculite, which is a good thing. It helps slow down when you don't have an oven. It helps to slow down the temperature of going from really, really hot to really, really cold. Hey Peter, glad to see you're out there. That's a good thing. Another thing that I can suggest to go with the vermiculite is if you have an old crock pot that you can turn on and get the vermiculite warm enough, really, really warm, like however warm you can get a crock pot. Hey Teresa, glad you're watching as well. And with that, you warm it up. You warm up the vermiculite and put all your stuff in the vermiculite, and then turn it off after you're finished working and let it slowly cool down, and that'll probably be a good one for you. But the ultimate goal is probably better to go ahead and get a kiln so that you can make sure the annealing process is right and go from there, I guess you could say. Another question he had, back it up, sorry. Three things happening at once. Another question. Everybody, what's going on here? Hey Robert, glad to see you're out there. 1 out of 3 pieces was stressing over that. The framing pieces should be okay to sell. No, you still should probably go ahead and get a kiln, like I said. But this is a way to slow it down to see what you can do. You can find kilns on Craigslist. You can find some good used kilns. Also, an analog kiln will do. The trip cone setup. You just got to get the right cone. I used to have a method without the cone, but I won't get into that today. Also, if you're making stuff for the first time that you've never done before, the best and biggest clue or biggest thing I can tell you to do is to make it smaller to begin with. Whether you've got an oxygen propane type torch, or just a propane, or or the other one that can't think of it right now. But anyway, the other type of torch. Anyway, back to the story. The best thing I can tell you to do is make it smaller. If they're always cracking on you, always popping on you, make the things smaller to begin with. The smaller it is, less stress in heating and cooling, and more chance of it surviving. Once you get the idea how to make it small, then expand and make bigger things. Okay? That's the biggest and best hint I can give you is work small to begin with. Hey Russ, glad to see you're out there, and I'm glad that your lovely wife is out and about and doing better, and I know she's got a lot of rehab to do. Woo-hoo. I've been there, done that, and it's no fun. I've had both hips replaced. I know the feelings. Anyway, that's my story there. Yes, for a hothead torch. Even with a hothead torch, use smaller to begin with. Make smaller to begin with. And that way you get the idea how to make it, and then you can turn around and make it bigger. And each time you make it bigger, you know, still, if you've got nothing but vermiculite, put it in a crock pot and let it cool down slower, but still it will help you to realize what can and cannot. The next basic thing about making a piece. Now let me start here. I may as well light it up and play with it as I'm talking here. Again, smaller is better. And this type of torch here, you can do really tiny stuff. You can do bigger stuff. I can turn this one off and put on a multi-hole tip, and this bugger will really melt some glass, believe me. Now, when you're working a piece, the best thing I can tell you to do, I'm going to make this a multi deal anyway, because one of the first things somebody asked me to do was a clear octopus. So we're going to do two things at once. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here and bring that down just a slight smidge. Flip that over. Sorry about the chip. I am kind of rough with my tools and stuff. I also put a nice lens on this thing so that I don't have to go like this to try to focus on something, which is pretty cool. Now, clear octopus. Again, the smaller the better. If you're working especially with soft glass, you learn how to make it first smaller and then work yourself up to a bigger piece. And again, once you're working a piece, don't go back. You start at the top and don't go back to the top. You start at one side and work your way to the other side. Don't go back. It'll make a big difference. It really will. I'm going to do some eyes here. Just some basic dots. And if you have a question while I'm working, talk to me and I will see about answering the questions. I'm sort of going and babbling on about what needs to be done, and sometimes I forget. Yes, I'm older. It's allowed because I'm older. I turned 60 this year. So shoot me and put me out of my misery, or shoot me and put you out of yours, right? No, keep me around so you can find out more of my magnificent glass blowing skills, right? Right, never mind. Okay, let's use this. We're going to use it just as a punte. I guess an octopus isn't the best one to really start on because of all, you got 8 legs to try to put on something. That's kind of crazy, but it'll work for now because I got it. But you know what? I will save it for later. Let's go ahead and do just like a horse. And to give you a little idea, let's see if I can do this really, really quick. I know I've got some handy. I will start with soft glass. Of course, when I'm looking for it, it's never around. Make it a bit earlier. Let me check one more bag if I can't. If it's not this one, I'll leave it alone for now. Wait, I know what some is. Maybe? Nope. 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 And nope. Now. Ah. Nope. Nope. One more box. I've got a few of them sort of kicking around here. You would think. I have in my day played with just about every type of glass, even up to quartz level glass. So it does have its moments. Okay, never mind. We're going to deal without it. I'll do it in the next video when I've got everything prepared and set up. We'll deal with it, what we got here. Now, when you make something, you want to make it as even smaller stringers. I mean, just try it with clear glass to begin with. You know how that is. Now, I'm even going to take this down a few more notches. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. There we go. There we go. I'm going to make just a unicorn, a little tiny horse. And again, the smaller it is, and if you can do it less, about the size of your thumbnail or a little bit bigger, not much, you'll have less stress in it. First thing to a horse or a unicorn, the shark fin is what I call that. And then you add an ice cream cone to the top of the shark fin, like so. You can see the ice cream cone shape there, and that makes the horse head. Then I usually add about 2 or 3 little tufts off the top for the mane, like so. And then for the horn, at this size, you can get away with just poking it out like that. Or, actually I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. Or, you can take a pair of tweezers, pinch it on both sides, make it square, as it were, and then just give it a little bit of a twist, and you got that corkscrew deal that they have. But if you're using soft glass, the less stress in it, the better. So if you want to just do a quick point, that'll work. Now one of the front legs, I just go straight down and then sort of bend it a little forward like so. The other one I do what I call the C curve, and that's where I bend it out, pull it forward, bend it down, and then bend it one more time. Okay? Next. Actually, that one got a little bit long. We're going to nudge a little bit of it off. Now the back half. Again, I've already done the front. I will not go back to the front. That's because I've just done it. Do not go back. If you think you've done something wrong, do it better on the next one. Do not go back once you've started a piece. It's easier that way. Learn logistics and don't go back to begin with. Yes, because I've been doing this for a few years, I could go back and fix something, but the best thing to do is do it better the next time. Hi Jennifer, glad to see you're out and about and watching my little newbie question video. Like I said, there was a few questions that somebody had to ask about a hothead torch and using vermiculite. And when I first started, I literally took a propane blowtorch off the shelf of a local store, was called Roseman. Something happened. I don't know. I guess it's still doing okay, but we'll see. All of a sudden it says I was finished, and I didn't want to be finished. Okay, where was I? Next. The legs are now on it. And now the tail. The tail I usually do is for like what I call the fold and pull. And if you make something this size or a little bit smaller with your hothead, I guarantee that it has a better chance of surviving than if you make something twice as big and twice as thick. Please do yourself a favor, make them smaller to begin with. Learn how to make them small, and then, you know, when you first started doing walking as a baby, you didn't take, you know, big heavy-duty running strides. You took baby steps first, and that's what I'm asking you to do here. Baby steps are the best way to go to begin with. Now I'm going to do a little teddy bear, okay? Nice little round ball, which is a very quick one to learn. Just spin it around inside the flame and it rounds itself out. Pretty. Now I'm going to add another ball to the top of that, like so. Hey, Merritt. And now I'm going to let that round in. Four arms. One of my jokes was with the bears, the only real animals on the whole entire planet that really have the right to bear arms are bears themselves. Bad joke, but doable. I know somebody asked me a question. I'll look at it in just a second. There we go. Serious question. Would you take a day off from the studio after a vasectomy? Or would sitting and melting be chill? I don't know. It all depends on whether sitting down is hurting or not, and if it will affect your health. I'd say follow the doctor's rules for at least a day or two. Me, as long as I got a nice cushion to sit on, I think I'd be okay. But I'm not gonna tell you I'm a doctor, because I'm not. Not even close. Not even close. Now the ears, I just sort of pinch them, flatten them out a little bit more. And there you got a little teddy bear. That quick. And now the tail is how I get this off of here is I heat it up. And another thing about making smaller things is you can make them a lot faster, as you can see. There's the teddy bear. Fire polish his nose where I had just had that thing holding onto it. Then, teddy bear. Oh, let's do a little turtle. Quick, easy. I'm going through a repertoire of about 3 or 4 pieces really, really quick. And again, because they're so small, I can make them so much faster. Hey, Lazy. Glad to see you out and about. Now I made the ball this time, but this time I'm going to make the shape of a peanut, like so. Watch this. Heat it up, and then just press that down, and now you got sort of a derby hat looking thing. Hey, Sebastian. And that derby hat will be the outside shell to this turtle. Wait a minute, I'm going to heat it up a little bit more and press a little bit wider. There we go. Then you just add 4 legs. And, you know, about 90-degree angles from each one of them. Like so. Simple, basic. Now to make them each even, they can be uneven at this point, but all you got to do is heat up all 4 legs at once and press, and boom, they're now even enough that they won't rock. Now look at where I've got the turtle and go between 2 of the legs. Probably this one is going to be, no wait, I take that back. I like this one. This is going to be where the neck is, and that's going to be where the tail is. You just choose them. It doesn't have to be, you make the decision there and say, I'm going to do this one. There's the neck. And here comes the tail. There we go. Animal number 3. Done and done. Well, also, one of the things you can practice at doing is dotting for eyes. If you put eyes on it, people look for eyes. If you don't put eyes on it, they'll imagine the eyes. But most people like to see eyes on something. They call it the windows to the soul. I know I didn't put it on the bear or the unicorn, but I did this guy. Oops. Fire polish where I had the punte on the back of his shell. And animal number 3. Again, you don't have to make it big. The smaller you make it, the quicker you can make it. And you can practice on less material and less gas. Let's see, what else can I do? Oh, an elephant. Quick, easy. I'll have it done in less than 4 minutes. These are... Now, most of the stuff I got here is, I think, stringers that I made out of larger pieces of glass. Okay, let's sort of... Now, let's do it this way. The old-fashioned way. I'll show you a cool one. Head coming up. And then bring it down, pull it forward, and you got the trunk. Then you heat up just where you need it. Add one ear. Add the other ear. And at this size, I've had them. I mean, even the ones I've done about half this size, literally, people have picked them up and said, oh, look, pretty, and then they dropped it on a concrete floor and watched them bounce. And guess what? At this size, I wouldn't say they're indestructible, but they're pretty strong. They will survive. I also tell people that's one of the things I do about my work. I guarantee it. If something happens to it, as long as it's not 1,000 pieces, you get it back to me, I fix it free of charge. You have to pay for postage, both ways, of course, or get it to me and I'll hand it back to you. But legs, just 4 of them, just like all the way around. I think I'm making these legs a little longer than I need to, but that's okay. And again, right now, they're uneven. But watch this little cute little trick. You heat up just the pads and press. Now they're even. Tap it off. Fire polish, always fire polish where you have a punte holding it. Otherwise you're going to have a nice sharp edge. Then you got an elephant. And the best thing about these that I've just done, all of them, except the elephant, are cool to the touch already. The smaller you make them, the quicker they're cool as well. And with that, if you have any questions about glass blowing, as far as simple, or not even simple, complex, if I know the answer, I will try to do it in a further video. I'm also going to try to put this over on my YouTube channel as well. I do appreciate you guys being out there. If you have a request real quick, I will make it. Other than that, I am going to call this session done for the time being. Let me think. One more little figurine or something. I have it, but I don't know what I want. Like a dolphin or a... Well, I guess I could go back to the... Matter of fact, I will. Where is it? Snake, it bit me. No. Now, where is it at? Never mind. I'll have to start over. Oh, here it is. This is being brave. Getting your fingers closed, but not enough to burn it. I'm going to do that octopus that I said I was not going to do. Now, the best thing I can tell you to do about octopi is put 8 stubs on to begin with before you start getting big and long and heavy. To make sure you got room for 8 stubs. Try to make sure you got room for 4 on one side. Half of one side. See? There's 4 on that one side. Now there's room for another 4. Just take it slow but sure. Always, I call this side the paper, this side the pencil. And I add to the paper with the pencil. I'm always heating up the pencil and the paper when you're putting them together like that. But give me a second, I'll see who or what said what. Hey, Brian. Glad to see you showed up. My son's name is Brian. Okay, now what you do is then go back and add link to each one of those legs for an octopus. In a matter of 30 some odd minutes, I believe, or less, I have shown you 4. This will make 5 different animals. Practice, 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 and more practice always helps. If you have a question and I can answer it, I will. It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. If I don't know the answer, I'll see about finding one. Three more to go. And the smaller your flame, the tighter detail that you can put in something small. I'll see about doing some soft glass demos very, very shortly, after probably tomorrow at the latest. There you go. I know it looks more like a squid because it's so small, right? Who knew, right? Fire polish where I had the cold seal. And we got ourselves, and again, that elephant that I did just a little while ago. Oops. I thought it was warm, but it was due to me almost touching the, and you know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to leave it just as is. As always, carpe vitro. I'm glad that you're having a good day, and I hope I will too. Thank you for watching. And again, if there's any questions, write them down below, and I'll see about answering them. And enjoy your day.